Yo. Welcome back to the channel. So a lot of this stuff has been going on lately, with AMC creators, and I know a lot of my audience is into AMC, so they'll probably be interested in my thoughts when it comes to this. Uh, I think it was last week, Astro put out a video saying that MOAS, like he doesn't believe in MOAS anymore. Colin tweeted saying that he was going to stop covering AMC publicly this weekend, and then I made like a meme tweet making fun of him and Astro. And then now Trey, who, I mean, personally, just giving you guys just the full story when it comes to Trey and me, like full background. Trey and I are friends. We talk regularly on the phone. Whenever I originally started looking into AMC, as an investment opportunity, he played a big role in generating my interest in the stock after the buy button fiasco that happened in January of 2021. I knew I had that general feeling about AMC that like it didn't do what GameStop did, so maybe there was opportunity there. That's how I felt about it in March or April. And then I guess I started to go down a YouTube rabbit hole, and then I looked at the chart and I pretty much liked what I saw. So I figured why not and join the party. And so, fast forward going into July and things like that. And I guess this story will be like, this video will be like my reaction as well as my AMC story and like where I stand in the whole thing. Also, I'm a little red in the face. It's hot in here because my AC went out on Friday. It's now Monday, and I'm waiting for my AC guy to get out here. But so it's a little hot, so excuse the redness. But anyway, like I said, I'm friends with Colin, I'm friends with Astro, and I'm friends with Trey. I consider them all friends, and I don't base my friendships with people off of their positions or like, if you're short a stock that I'm long on or vice versa, it doesn't really matter to me. I've always been about sharing ideas. So Trey saying this is his last AMC update. Let's do a reaction. So this is going to be a longer video because his video in itself is 22 minutes. I'm not going to edit this video, so I'm just going to talk through. So we might as well just get to it, and then maybe I can share relevant points along the way. Nice mustache, Trey.
This is my last AMC update video, which is kind of funny because I think Composite Man is going to use me as a catalyst to...
Composite Man? That's my boy.
Give a short-term bounce to AMC. But regardless, I've given myself a lot of time to think about this, and that's the way it's going to be. And I'm going to walk you guys through that, and I want everybody to be on the same page as to why. Which is funny because it's not because I don't believe in AMC. It's for different reasons. I still actually think AMC is going to hit an all-time high, just not very soon. I'm going to walk you through why I'm making this decision.
That's a fair take.
So to everybody who's taking the time to stop in, listen, I appreciate you. Give me the opportunity, give me the chance, listen to this all the way through and understand where I'm coming from before you get frustrated or angry. And leave my mom out of it. If you go and bully my mom, that's not fucking okay. Don't do that shit.
Yeah, don't, I mean, I don't know who would do that. I think that he's probably talking to like a very extreme and crazy part of his audience, that unfortunately would probably do it anyway, because it would require a terrible person to bring somebody's parents into something like this. But.
So... let's just do it, I suppose. Quick preface. I'm not leaving. I do have notes over here on my monitor. So if you see me looking over, it's just so I don't miss anything that I think is important to talk about. But I'm not leaving. I'm going to be here every day. I'm not going anywhere. My focus is going to shift because I think it is a necessary thing to do so that retail investors can level up. And I'm going to explain my thought process as to why. I have 6 bullet points outlined, but I am not going to be talking about AMC anymore. So from this day on, it could go.
Dude, I've never thought about doing bullet points before a video. I'm just kidding, but I could definitely use that. Shifting the focus of retail. So is actually an interesting thing. I've talked about it a lot. And let's see what his ideas are when it comes to that.
Go up 500% in a single day, and you will not find me making a video about it. And it's not because I don't want to talk about it. It's because I think I need
I don't plan on not covering AMC if it has a 500% day, personally.
to make myself a villain for retail investors to wake up. I think we need to wake up, and that's what I'm going to do. So number one, I've got 6 points. Let me start off with the first one, and this is in my Twitter bio. I'm sure you guys have all seen it. My mission statement, I always talk about how I think retail investors need a mission statement. We need something to have a sort of focalized, right? A focal point, something to focus on every single day. Mine is this: fighting to create equitable markets for all. I also have a small PP, which I just think is funny. But what that
True.
means to me is creating a market, creating an economy, creating a retail investor community that is able to make money despite crime and maybe even take down some crime. In order to make that happen, to accomplish a goal like that, retail investors have a lot of leveling up to do. So what I have here is I'd like to create equitable markets for all. And I think this is being held back legitimately by a lack of conversation, a lack of reality, and frankly, cancel culture. What I mean by
So, yeah, so this goes back into the story, right? So the reason that I started making content, and it started on Twitter. I didn't start YouTube until probably October or November of 2021. The reason I started making content on Twitter and then thereafter YouTube is because in July of 2021, I was seeing so much. I was seeing all these YouTubers sprout up, and this community sprout up on Twitter. That was very it was very pie in the sky-ish type talk, right? It was obviously there was the 100K, 500K a share thing or whatever that was going around. But also a lot of like, trust me, bro, like Lou, and a lot of people that I could tell were relatively inexperienced in the market that were kind of the figureheads in this movement. And complete transparency here, I saw Trey as that type of maybe less experienced person in the market that was delivering these updates in a very optimistic way, because I think that he was kind of married to his audience at that stage of the game. And so I thought that the entire movement was relatively dangerous. And if you were following me on Twitter in July of 2021, which not many people were, especially from this movement, I was probably July, August. I probably went from like 5 to 10,000 followers to 15,000 followers by September-ish, maybe, on Twitter. I was very bearish. I was overwhelmingly bearish on AMC, especially in July. And that's why I started to share my thoughts and deliver the technical aspect of the thing, because I thought that there was something tangible there that retail investors could grab onto and level up in the way that Trey is describing here. I thought that regardless of how you want to see a stock or you want to see an asset, whatever, I think that having a reasonable way to view it through the lens of technical analysis would help a lot of newer traders or investors, depending on how you term yourself or whatever. And having that voice there to tell you maybe what you didn't want to hear might help you either strengthen your like, if you can understand your enemy, you can be a stronger opponent for them, right? So just understanding your position better in the day-to-day price action, especially, just so that people could not stress so much and maybe learn something in the process. Talking too much. That's what I do.
this is, I know I'm not alone here. I myself, and I'm sure other YouTubers and other people who are not YouTubers, people within the community who maybe stay silent, feel as though we are not able to have realistic conversations about things and open ourselves up to ideas and learning opportunities and growth for the community because of fear of cancel culture, for being labeled a shill, for being told you're wrong, you're bought out, you're a hedge fund, you're this, you're that, right? And I know this is my...
Yeah, dude. Dude, in August, I'll never forget. In August, I was evacuated for the hurricane, August of 2021. I was evacuated, I think it was Hurricane Ida. I was in Texas for like 3 weeks, evacuated for that, because we had no power at home, 3 weeks to a month. And dude, I straight up, I didn't give a fuck. Like, we were just chilling in the house. I didn't have anything to do. I couldn't do any business or anything like that, so I was just chilling. And I remember, dude, I was making memes and calling everybody on AMC Twitter. It was a cult to me. People who were just blindly following whatever. And I really didn't care. Like, I just said whatever, because I thought that if I shook enough people up, and I haven't done a good job of continuing to do that, honestly. It is a little stressful. It's a stressful role to play. But I thought that, maybe shaking people up, and like he said, he wants to be a villain like that's kind of the role that I was trying to play, is like make people uncomfortable, make people, you know, it's like the Kanye West sort of like Donald Trump, I guess, kind of thing, where they make this really inflammatory sort of statement or move or something like that in order to grab the attention of a bunch of people. And then maybe, you know, maybe they might triple or double their reach, their normal reach, and a lot of people are mad at them as a result of that, and it causes that firestorm that gets them louder and louder. And then maybe like 5-10% will actually hear what they had to say and then maybe follow along or actually make a reasonable decision regarding it. So that's kind of how I approached it. And I didn't really like I wasn't thinking in my head like I'm going to be the villain, but that's just kind of how I could see myself making an impact, you know. But yeah, I mean, there's absolutely cancel culture. I mean, that's what dude, I can't tell you how many like space calls and stuff, like I would hear people talking shit about me like for no reason, just because I'm like analyzing a chart and my outlook is bearish. Like they're like, "Oh, he's a paid show. Like you know, he's obviously like nobody's ever heard of him before. Like he had to just be planted here by Citadel or whatever." And I'm just sitting here like, "Dude, okay." But when it goes down, you know, and then yeah, it's
Minority. It's not the majority of people. The majority of people within this community are freaking awesome. They're amazing people. That sound like Donald Trump.
true.
They're great people. They're great people. But legitimately, the loud minority scares off a lot of people. And I myself worry about that. I have to sit down and I have to think to myself about how I say something, and that's political. And I like to pride myself in just coming and presenting myself as I am to people. And I feel as though I'm being facetious when I can't just say things the way that I want to say them without being worried about backlash.
Dude, I definitely can relate to that, and I bet it's 100 times worse, at least for Trey, because he's got so much of a bigger reach than I do. But I definitely, like I've said that in numerous videos, that when AMC, before the ape split or whatever, when AMC was trading in that $20 to $30 range, I think that I began to give myself blind spots and be a little bit more optimistic than maybe I should have on the stock, because I was filtering it through that, like the judgment of social media, like what that impact would be and stuff. So you kind of like are, you know, and it's not that I was like scared of it or anything like, but it's, you get beat over the head with it a lot when you have a lot of people following you like that. And I think over the course of time, it just naturally kind of shifts your behavior, you know, like generally speaking, like he says, like I like to be straightforward, be honest, be 100%, but it's not even like I was being dishonest. It was almost like I was only being a little bit more optimistic than I maybe normally would have been because of those conditions. It's an odd thing. I've never really had, like personally, I've never had like my own following before, so I've never really experienced that until this.
Despite it just being a take, an opinion, right? And I think it's important that in order to accomplish what my mission and my goal is, right, which is to create and fight for equitable markets for all, I think in order to accomplish that, we have to be able to have these conversations that, quite frankly, we're not having. And I think that this is going to help accomplish that. Number two, I've talked about this a lot over the last couple weeks, and it's the sensationalism of AMC as a stock. Trust me, I know. There is lots of crime. There's manipulation. There are bad things that are taking place with AMC. I'm not taking away from that. In fact, I think now more than ever, these things are happening. However, that happens everywhere. I don't think that what makes AMC special is the fact that it is owned primarily by retail investors. That is quite incredible. It's a beautiful thing. It's a special thing. But in terms of manipulation and crime, right, AMC is like many, many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other stocks within the stock market. And the sensationalism, the clickbaitiness of AMC, quite frankly, this I'm probably gonna get kickback for this, but the cultish mentality of the loud minority.
There's that cult word. Yeah. What did he say right before that? What was the point
Of AMC, quite frankly, this I'm probably gonna get kickback for this, but the cultish mentality. Crime, right? AMC is like many.
Oh yeah. So he was basically saying that AMC faces a lot of crime or whatever, but he's kind of going into like my point, which is, AMC faces crime, and maybe it is major majority owned by retail versus maybe these other stocks that are owned primarily by institutions or something. But regardless, and I've said this over and over again on my channel, and on Twitter for sure, if an institution owns 1% of a company, they are still going to operate more smartly. They are going to, because they just need to be way less coordinated than retail. Retail is, let's say 4 million people own this stock. Like I've seen that number thrown around a lot. How do you coordinate 4 million people how do you coordinate 1% of that holding to make a move, right? At one time. It's very difficult. But with an institution, because of the impact of derivatives on price, as well as just sheer holdings, right? Just sheer equity, what they could be holding on their books. If you sell 1% of AMC's stock, you're going to cause the price to go down. Like, there's no way. And there is going to be a downhill effect of that sort of sell-off, and that's just an example. Again, I'm not saying any whatever. That's going to cause a downhill effect where day traders suddenly are longing at certain levels on its way down, and then they're getting stopped out. So it's forced sells. People getting liquidated. People just panicking and selling their position. Oh, nobody's selling, but like, I mean, people sell. Like, if they're not apes and they own AMC, they're selling. Like, right? So, and look, there are weak hands. You take any group of 4 million people, I don't care what the group is and where you pick them from, there's going to be a gradient of how willing someone is to hold versus how willing they are to sell, whatever. So just keep that in mind. Like, institutions wield incredible power through liquidity across markets. Heavy concentrations of any asset, you can affect the price.
Holds us back from having real conversations. As an example, here's one, right? Many people scream to the sky that shorts are fucked every single day, as if shorts are down thousands or millions or billions of dollars, right? When in reality, they're not. Shorts have made a lot of money over the last year, and the reality of what I think happens with AMC and GameStop, along with many other stocks that retail investors love, is hedge funds, institutions, banks, big money, make money both ways. They really...
Okay. And we actually talked on the phone. We actually had a conversation on the phone about this, but I will challenge here. For a second, because it is true, hypothetically speaking, if there were shorts that were entered at the all-time low, and we're just looking at AMC, I'm not going to overcomplicate it by looking at APE and stuff like that, the potential is, and these are normally leveraged positions because they will take some leverage, they still could be potentially down upwards of 475% on their positions. And if there is a synthetic position or something that's out there, then that could be a pretty tough, I mean, that's serious, especially when you get to big money and there's like billions of dollars, millions of dollars on the line. That is a tough position to be in if you're still down. And I'm not saying that I know for sure that somebody shorted out on that day, right? But I'm just giving an example of, there is still a lot of room for there to be shorts underwater in their positions, even if someone has shorted from the $46, $72 top from June and been very successful down to this point. There is still the potential for shorts to be in a pretty bad position on this, hypothetically speaking. And I'm not saying that they shorted there. They could have shorted anywhere above there. That's between where the price is now and where, you get what I'm saying.
They do. They make money long and they make money short.
They do make money in long and short. I said this from the beginning. Back in July, whenever I started tweeting, July 2021, I was telling people, I was like, look, dude, they're buying puts on the way down. And then if there's a synthetic position out there, they can be buying puts on the way down and then using the or even selling derivatives and using that premium that they gain to then buy and cover their positions. That is certainly a thing that they can be doing over the course of time, for sure.
What they try to do is make money off retail investors at the times that retail thinks the opposite will happen. So if retail investors think AMC is going to go down for a while, these guys are making money long. If retail investors think it's going to go up for a while, these guys are making money short. They don't care how they make money. All they want to do is make money off of you, right? And these are conversations that, quite frankly, we haven't been able to have because we get shut down. Right? These things get shut down by the loud minority. And I know this is the majority. A lot of people here are willing to learn. They want to learn. They crave learning. Education just like I do. They're passionate about this stuff. And I fucking love that. And in order to progress towards that, we have to have these talks. Which I don't feel like I can have because of the sensationalism of AMC. Three, crime. I believe that we need to have a mentality shift. I think a lot of people, and I used to be in this boat, I really did. I think a lot of people believe in the mentality of this crime is why we're not making money. And I don't think that's the right way to think about things. Instead of thinking this crime is why I'm not making money, I think we need to make a shift towards this crime is going to happen regardless, and I need to learn how to surf the wave. Because for the time being, there's a reality that we need to come to grips with. It's that there's been barely any regulation changes to anything. The DTCC, the SEC, the NSCC, FINRA, all the regulatory bodies that take care of the stock market and watch over things, there really hasn't been a lot that's changed. I mean, I know we're making a push for a payment for order flow ban or at the very least reform, right? But this is really the first thing that we've seen come out of this. And even when that takes place, we still run into the same problems of short exempt volume and naked short selling and failure to delivers and spoofing and short laddering. We can go down the list of tactics.
What he's suggesting, what he's suggesting here is that maybe these governing bodies, well, at least me, where my head goes is, and you know, the way that I think about the world is maybe these governing bodies and these incredibly rich institutions are connected to each other in some way. So regardless of what crimes they commit, perhaps the funding that these institutions can provide to politicians or governing bodies would suffice them in their you know, oh, you broke the law, but you bought me a jet ski, you know, like, I don't know.
That these guys use on a day-to-day basis to make money off retail investors, not going anywhere anytime soon. These things take time, and we can't sit here mentally, physically, emotionally killing ourselves over this mentality every day. People die. People die over this stuff, you know? People will kill themselves over the emotions they feel over this stuff. And believe me when I say that, because I've gotten handwritten letters sent to my P.O. box from people who are down millions of dollars who blame me and who have told me they're suicidal. They're not bots. These are real people. And we need to have these conversations, which brings me to point 4. To the people who are down money, all right? This is where things are a little more geared towards what I'd like instead of what I'd like to see for the community and mission statements, right? Making money, right? I know a lot of people are angry and frustrated because they're bag holding on AMC, right? Which is understandable. And for a long time, I told myself and I told many other YouTubers that your job as a YouTuber, what you get paid by Google to do, is be a punching bag, right? And I genuinely mean that and meant that at that time. And what I mean is, hey man, listen, when people are angry, when they're down money, when they feel some sort of way, your job is to be the brunt of that anger and frustration. Why? Because we're talking about AMC and AMC's down a lot, all right? people are losing money. They need somebody to be angry at. It's your job to absorb that beating, right? And I accepted that for a very long time.
I don't really feel that I have that experience with commenters. Usually my commenters are more like, why are you bearish? Or maybe they just say that I don't know what I'm doing or something like that. But I don't generally have people like, I feel bad for Trey in that way. And I feel bad for anybody who feels this way, but I don't really have that sort of part of my audience where it's like, I mean, every once in a while I see somebody say, like, I'm causing people to buy this stock and or something like that. But I don't think that my content has really driven people in that manner. But regardless, I mean, at the end of the day, I think everybody should be accountable for their own actions. That's how I've always felt. I don't really agree with the premise that because Trey or because someone says something that they should be accountable for, unless they like literally were like making people do it in a way. If he presents like a super bullish case or something like that for something that ends up going down a lot, and I'm just using Trey as an example. I'm just saying anybody. If anybody does that, Lou versus Wall Street for if somebody presents an extremely bullish case and then a bunch of people buy in and then they get left holding a bag, I don't think that creator is responsible. They just shared their thoughts and opinions on what they thought could happen and would happen. And then people who watch them and follow them and maybe respect them or whatever chose to believe them. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're guaranteeing that this is going to happen. I don't think that should ever be the assumption. And even if somebody is saying that they guarantee something's going to happen, Lou versus Wall Street, then you should probably question it. You should probably and still go do your own due diligence, figure out what you want to do with your money, and make the decision that's right for you and your family. So if you're not doing that, and then you go around blaming other people for what's happened to your position or whatever, I just don't. I think that you're looking in the wrong direction for where the accountability should go. You should probably take a look in the mirror and ask who pressed the buy button.
But it's all over the mind. It's a very difficult thing day in and day out to get punched in the mouth and just be okay with it. We're all normal people at the end of the day, right? And when I end my streams, man, I sit here in my chair and I go, and I have to go on with my life in the same way that you do, Yes. And what I've realized is
streaming is exhausting. Well, especially with this community. Look, I will say that, dude. And when you're live streaming, man, that is a mentally taxing. People are in your chat and they feel like they can say literally anything and not be held accountable for it, that is a totally different thing. And he's got way more viewers than I do when he goes live. So I can only imagine.
I was okay with being a punching bag because I was doing nothing to solve the problem. And for the last couple of months, I've spent an incredible amount of time. I've streamed for 7 hours a day on YouTube. I've spent countless hours on Twitch doing charting and looking over things. I've made masterclasses for free that I think are worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, that people have been charging hundreds or thousands of dollars for in order to help retail investors. You know, I've been on demonetized live streams for months trying to help retail investors make money because I recognize that people are red right now, and I recognize that we're in a bear market, and I recognize that AMC has been getting smacked, right? So from this point on, it is difficult for me to feel like it's my fault, you know? Like, I understand people are red. They're bag holding on AMC. They feel some pain. And this isn't everybody. Maybe it's a loud minority, right? I'm speaking from my experience. This isn't truth. This isn't opinion, right? But from my experience, right, the people who are angry because they're red and they want this thing to go up, they want this thing to squeeze. I thought it would happen ages ago. I understand that, right? But at the same time, we control our destinies. And I have really been putting in a lot of effort and work to show people how they can make these losses back. I understand. People are red on AMC. People are down bad. And even to this day, I'm telling you, I think Composite Man's going to do some goofy ass shit. I think AMC is going to go up within days. And I still think it's going to hit an all-time high. It's just not going to be anytime soon. But if you have a problem with being red, right, the solution's laid out in front of us. It's learn to surf the wave. And I've been doing nothing but working towards that goal for months now while people blame me for being red. I mean, my breaking point was on Thursday. I was live streaming and I blew up.
Trey is a good trader, by the way. I know I said the thing about him being relatively inexperienced towards the beginning of this journey and stuff, but I've watched his live streams. He knows what he's doing. So if he's giving that sort of stuff away, you should pay attention because he does know what he's doing. So there's that.
I blew up. I said something along the lines of, man, I've sat on these streams for 7 hours a day, demonetized, showing people stuff for free that people would charge hundreds of dollars for. Like, you guys are, and people blame me for their AMC losses while I'm literally making money live on stream. And it clicked in my head. I thought to myself, it's not okay for me to be a punching bag for people to blame me on why they're losing money while I'm literally showing people how they can make money. And I think I have to stand pretty firm on that. I think it's fair that I can't just be a punching bag for people for the rest of my life, and that we can make money at the same time, right? So that's my point 4. 5, I think this is going to make retail investors.
I cannot blame him for that. It is a very mentally taxing thing. I'm sure you guys have noticed a shift in my content and my narrative and everything like that away from this. I mean, it's no accident, right? Like, it's not fun, like, sitting there, like, because my life doesn't revolve around this stock. It never has. I've said that from the beginning. So for me to be constantly getting beat up by people for talking about this stock that my life doesn't revolve around, I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? Why am I even talking about this anymore? Like, what am I doing? What is the point of this? You know, I got kids and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have time for this shit.
Better over the long run. And what I mean by that is I think people are going to learn to fend for themselves without the help of a YouTuber or the help of a finfluencer or a singular stock, so to speak, right? I think AMC is going to squeeze. I think it's going to go to all-time highs. I think great things are going to happen with this stock. It's just not going to be during a bear market or while these guys are burning cash. I don't really think that. I think they pay off their debt, they go cash flow positive, they're going to squeeze, and or the stock market turns around, which I don't see happening anytime soon, considering the fact that the Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell become incredibly hawkish. And in fact, they've raised their target rate significantly and are staying quite hawkish for some time. And this is obviously not good for stocks. Things are going to be tough. They're going to get worse before they get better. And I think that includes AMC, quite frankly. I think we're going to have pops. We're going to have nice rips, signs of strength, whatever you'd like to say. But things are going to get worse before they get better. And we can still make money while that happens. And I want to go over that and show people that specifically, which brings me to my last point, number 6. This is selfish. I recognize this is selfish. I hope some of you will understand, though. I'm not happy talking about AMC anymore. I feel like a slave to a stock. There's something that I can't tangibly hold in my hand. You know, I go to an AMC movie theater, and I love the experience. I love the popcorn. I love the atmosphere. I love the movie. But when the 3 letters...
Except for those sticky floors, man. When they got the sticky floors, I'm like, man, you guys should have cashed out some of that stock and reinvested into this sticky floor thing, dude. Pay these employees more, you know what I'm saying?
AMC said out loud, I feel a physical reaction. I feel my blood pressure raise. I feel frustration. And that's not okay for you guys. And it's not okay for me. I don't think it's healthy to do something that you're not enjoying every single day of your life, you know? And while some may say, Trey, you're being a pussy, suck it up, it's the loud minority, it doesn't matter. You're not in my shoes. You're just not. It's impossible.
You're not. You're not. And this dude is a young dude that has a long life to live ahead of him. So to be a slave to a stock, if he feels that way, and I know how he feels, trust me. If he feels that way, that's not good.
possible for you to understand the way that this is made me feel in the same way that I can't truly understand the way that you feel. I can only tell you, I can express my opinions and my takes on what I've seen, right? But it's not truth, it's an opinion. And in the same way that I can't understand what you feel on the other side of the screen, it's tough, it's impossible, right? Who else is Trey? Who else is me? Nobody. It's just me. I'm going to tell you a story, and this is what really made me think about it. When I ended the stream on Thursday and I was angry, I finished the stream and I said, fuck you guys, suck my dick. I was just angry. And I wasn't speaking to the majority of people. I think people recognize this. It was the loud minority. I sat there and I thought to myself, Trey, you need to do something to distract yourself from everything going on. You need to free up your mind. You need to do something that's going to make you happy. And I sat there for an hour in this chair.
Meditate.
And I looked at the wall, just fuming, trying to think of something to do for fun. And I realized that I don't know what I like to do for fun anymore. I've spent so much time living on the internet and staring at a screen and sitting in my chair and trying to commit myself to this community and to this movement that I've realized I don't even know what I like to do for fun. I have sacrificed so much of myself to this community, and it's a purposeful sacrifice. Let me make that clear, right? I made the choice, not you guys. I made the choice. I made the purposeful choice to give myself to this community so much that I don't even know what I like to do for fun anymore. And I don't think that's okay, considering the fact that I don't feel as though it's respected at times, you know? And I don't ask for much. I sit on...
Wow. Yeah, that's how I felt in like whenever I kind of backed away from everything in like March or April. That's how I felt. Like I was like, this is ridiculous. Like my life is like now revolving around this like weird social media thing. Like, and so I was just like, dude, I'm checking out for a little while. Stop posting on YouTube, everything like that, because it was just too much. So I definitely know what he means. That's crazy.
Streams the entire day, demonetized, and whatever I make is just from super chat. So you guys literally decide.
He's a tough fucker because it sounds like he was going through the same thing that I was going through, and he just kept going. That's crazy.
And it's supply and demand, I suppose. You guys decide what happens on a day-to-day basis, and at times it just feels like I'm banging my head against the wall. I make trades live, and I show people live how to change their lives, change their paths, and all people want to do is punch me in the mouth. Treat me as a punching bag, and I can't do it anymore. I can't. And I realized this. I went to New York City for the weekend, and I spent a couple days there, and I said to myself on Thursday, I said, all right.
Went and hung with them hedgies, huh, Trey? He was in New York hanging with them hedgies. He came back. All of a sudden, you don't want to talk about AMC no more, huh? I'm trolling.
I'm going to go to New York. I'm going to be there for the weekend. And if I still think the same thing, because already Thursday I was thinking I was going to make this video. I said, if I still think the same thing at the end of this weekend, I'm going to make the video. So I went to New York and I had some fun. I watched the Book of Mormon. It was a musical. It was fantastic. I played chess against some chess hecklers, some guys who make money playing it on Times Square. I went to the Panic at the Disco concert. I went to some great restaurants. I went to a comedy show and there was a guy.
I chimed in with it. Is that Panic at the Disco? I just heard that song. I was just listening to it on my Spotify. That's Panic at the Disco, right? I chimed in with a haven't you people ever heard of? It's got to be. I can't find it.
From The Office who was there. I had a blast. And what I realized is, look at this. This is real life. This is real life. I spent so much time stressing over something I can't even see or touch or feel when I could be living life the same as all of you can. We don't have to be held hostage to a stock. We can make these choices on our own. And that's what I realized. All right. If I don't enjoy what I'm doing, I shouldn't have to force myself to do it. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. And I know people are going to be angry. They're going to blame me. They're going to witch hunt me. And I'm going to get canceled. And I'm okay with that. Because I know this is the best thing to do for myself, and I think people will come to find it's going to be the best thing for the community in the long run. So those who have been supporters, I appreciate you. I do. We've created an awesome culture, and I think it's a loud minority of people who...
Hey, Trey, what do you use that big black thing? What do you use that for behind you?
Who speak for many, unfortunately. But there are a lot of great people in this community, and I'm not fucking going anywhere, may I add. But there's a lot of great people in this community, man, who want to progress, who want to make money, who want to change the market, who want to create an equitable market for all and help fight for their neighbors. And quite frankly, I don't feel as though I can accomplish that talking about AMC anymore. I think AMC is going to do good things. I still love movies. I'm still going to go to movies. I'm still going to hold the stock. But I'm not going to talk about it anymore. And quite frankly, my mission with this video is to make myself the villain so that retail can level up. I think you guys need a villain. The people who are going to be angry at me, I think you guys need a villain to come to the realization that we can be better and that we can level up. And that's my goal. I'm going to be the villain.
I feel like the Joker scene, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker scene, where he's like Trey, this is Trey right now. He's like, hold on, let me make myself bigger here. He's sitting on stage with the host guy, and he's like, you know what you get when you take a young kid that's learning about the stock market and wants to share what he learns with people, and you beat him over the head, and you call him a shill, and you do all this, you know what you get? You get what you deserve. I'm just trolling. It's true, though. He's the villain, dude. It's all good.
Punching bag for people here. And that's that.
No, it's some real shit, though. I mean, look, dude, like, you only got one life to live. This dude can't dedicate his life to a bunch of strangers on the internet. Like, that is crazy.
So here's my plans. I'm gonna give you guys my plans moving forward, my expectations, and a final message. And I suppose I'll send you guys on your way. Here's my plans. I'm gonna be doing a couple things. All right. For now, I'm gonna be moving my live streams from YouTube over to Anti-Juicer on Twitch. And the reason for this is my YouTube live streams have the chats have become quite toxic, and it's not fun. I don't enjoy it. And if I don't enjoy it, I don't have to do it.
I disagree with this idea. Twitch is gonna die. So you might as well just stream on YouTube, Trey, and then just ban everybody in your chat that annoys you.
I get to do things, right? And the same that you guys get to do things, you know? And because of that, I'm going to be moving over to Twitch. So if you want to stop by, that's where I'm going to be. However, there's going to be standards and expectations, which I'm going to go over in a bit. Outside of that, I am also going to be streaming in the Caveman Discord, which is linked in the description box down below, from 9:30 till 11:30 Eastern. Now, I know what you're going to be thinking. Wow, go you, Trey, or you're going to be hiding behind a paywall the entire day, right? That's not the case. My time will probably be split up, I would imagine, 35% to 65%. 35% of the time I'll be in Caveman, and 65% of the time I'll be on Twitch. And what I mean by that is I'll be on Caveman from 9:30 to 11:30 every single day, Monday through Friday, trading on the 1K challenge account, which is done pretty well so far. It's up to $1,660-ish, so I'm up 66% in the last month. After that, I will stream on Twitch from 2 p.m. until 4 p.m. Eastern, and I will take some trades and I'll do that stuff live. So the same amount of time broken down into both. I will upload videos on YouTube when I want to upload videos on YouTube. I won't feel like I need to. It'll just be about things that I want to talk about, which I think will be huge. And then finally, I'll stream on Twitch at night. And that's how things will be for now. Maybe I will return to YouTube live streaming for stocks. I feel like I'd like to. I'd like to come back to YouTube, but especially for now, that's the way things are going to be. And I have a very simple standard and expectation, and I'm going to enforce this very strongly. It's not personal. It's because I'm done being a punching bag, and I'm done taking shit for something that I don't feel is fair to myself. I will not allow people to bully or heckle me over AMC anymore. If you want to have a respectful conversation about my choice to walk away, I will certainly do that. Give respect, get respect, right? But if you come into my chat, my YouTube live streams, my Twitch live streams to bully or heckle me over AMC, I will ban you. I'm not going to look back and I'm not going to think twice because this is my choice. I'm not changing my mind. This is how I feel. And you can be angry with me, right? But I'm not going to have to take it. You have freedom of speech. And that means that I have freedom of choice. You can decide to say whatever you'd like to say, but that doesn't mean that
These are private platforms, Trey. There is no freedom of speech on YouTube, all right?
you have freedom from consequences. And the consequence, if you don't respect my standard and expectation, is I will ban you. And that's that. I suppose that's it. The last thing I'm going to say is if any other YouTubers quit, just know that I didn't tell them to. They probably just feel the same way that I do, and I've been waiting for somebody to make the statement. I love you guys in a non-parasocial way. Parasocial is kind of a big word. What that means is I don't know who you are in real life, right? Obviously, but
as far as me quitting or something like that, I mean, I don't really see myself changing or whatever. If I see something relevant on AMC, I'll cover it. I don't really care.
I love this community. I love the people, and it really is just a loud minority that have sort of led me to this decision. You can call me a pussy. You can say I'm soft. You can say I'm letting the squeaky wheel get to me. But I, in the deepest part of my heart, think this is going to be the best thing that can happen for retail investors.
So
I think it's going to wake a lot of people up. I think it's going to create opportunity for everybody. And I think you're going to realize that even if, even if AMC goes up, you can make money other places, right? And I think it will. I think AMC will go up. It's just not going to, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. And
accumulate.
In the meantime, man, adapt. Let's adapt. Let's take advantage of the volatility in the market. Let's make some fucking money. And let's stop being victims. That's all I got. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, don't be a victim, dude. Hey, man, I think it's fair what he said there. Look, overall, this is what I think. So, this is what I think. I got these big red. Hold on, let me make myself nice and big. I'm in the stars now. All right. Let me just touch on what he said there. I might actually have to edit this video. All right, let me make myself a little bit bigger. I'm not big enough. Hold on. What was that last part that he said? I was going to say something about?
Fuck.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
You can say I'm soft. You can say I'm letting the squeaky wheel get to me.
Oh yeah, the squeaky wheel gets me. All right, look, let me tell you something. Humans are still animals. All right, I'm looking at you. You're an animal. You're an animal, bro. And it's a survivalist sort of thing. It's something that naturally occurs in your body. You have the will to survive, and pain is something that goes against survival, fundamentally, in the human mind, right? In your reptile brain. And so, if you have 1,000 positive comments and you have one negative comment, that one negative comment is going to stand out so much more than all the other 1,000 as a fight or flight response, right? Your body naturally goes, ouch, that hurt, Even if it's just your emotions or your psychology or whatever, and it has nothing to do with you actually being physically damaged, you have the will naturally to put that negative attack under a microscope and analyze it. And that's why it's so easy for those comments to take you into a very toxic and negative place, no matter how many positive comments you have, If you post a picture of yourself and everybody says that you look great, but one person says, bro, you're looking a little chunky, you know what I'm saying? Or you're ugly. You're going to be like, dude, what the and you're going to sit there and you're going to judge. You're going to try and think of how you can, I'm going to stop with the big head. You're going to sit there and try and figure out how you can fix it, or you're going to try and defend yourself, or you're going to do something like that, So, look, overall, man, Trey's a kid. Not in a detrimental way. He's a young guy, And in a lot of ways, I feel bad for him because it seems like he's put himself through a lot. And I relate to a lot of what he's gone through. But like I said, what he's gone through is worlds worse than what I've gone through because it's so much bigger, so many more people. It's so much more impactful. And he was here earlier than I was. And so he's got a lot more people that were there before the $72 move, right? And so, yeah, overall, we should all respect each other as human beings. We should respect each other's decisions. If you believe in this play, the way that I've seen a lot of these people that are going to be saying negative things as soon as I open up my Twitter and see the reactions to this video, if you believe in this play the way that you say you do, then you shouldn't be bothered by this. And you shouldn't attack him or his family or anything like that as a result of this video. Because he's only got one life. He's only got one life to live. And he can't just base what he's going to do with the rest of his life off of what a bunch of people on Twitter and YouTube say. So just put yourself in his shoes. Assume that he made a mistake. And he feels wrong. And he feels bad about it. And what he's trying to do, and I truly believe that Trey's intentions are to help people. And he's just trying to do that in the best way possible. So, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm going to end the video there. I think that, overall, I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing, if I see something relevant. I do want to shift away from, making a topical video like this, or tweets about the community, and really get back to the technicals, a little bit more. But other than that, I don't really see myself changing my behavior overall. If I see something bullish, I see something bullish. That's it. If I see something bearish, I see something bearish. That's it. So have a good rest of your day with your family. We'll do a market update. I mean, my buddy's going to the gym at 5, so maybe I'll make the market update. I don't know. It depends on how long it's going to take me to edit this. But, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. And until next time, peace.